Hey y'all, welcome back to Talk Me Through a podcast. If you tuned into the last episode, we started a real honest conversation about love, loneliness, and the thin line between the two. Now, that episode hit a nerve for a lot of people, including myself. So today, we're going to be diving a little deeper, and this is going to be part two. Now, I do apologize, guys, I'm a little late dropping this part, but it's okay. Life be lifing. So, we're going to be talking about self reflection. Because before we get into relationships, we need to check in with ourselves, right? Was it really love or was I just lonely? And maybe even more important, what were the signs that I ignored before I got into deep? I want to start by being real. Self reflection isn't always pretty. Sometimes it reveals things we didn't want to admit from the jump. But that's where growth starts. So let's talk. The first thing I want to dive into again is recognizing the loneliness within. Like in the part one, when I tell my little story time, before I ever met that person, I already felt void. I was already tired of being alone, tired of sleeping alone, tired of doing life by myself. And even when someone came along who gave me attention, comfort, even just a little bit, I did cling on to it. But that's the thing, y'all. When you don't deal with your own loneliness, it'll disguise itself as love. Now I want you to ask yourself, did I really like this person? Or did I just not like being alone? Was I building a connection or just filling a gap? If you've ever been there, you know that it's easy to confuse comfort with compatibility, right? Now, the second question is the questions that I should have asked myself. Looking back, there are questions I wish I had the courage to ask, especially early on in the situation or relationship or whatever you want to call it. And those questions would be like, do I actually see a future with this person? Or am I trying to force one? Am I ready to be in a healthy relationship? Or am I just craving the ideal of one? Do I love them? Or do I love the way they make me feel? Because we can also confuse love and lust, you know? Sometimes the hardest part of self reflection is being honest about what you wanted versus what you're settling for. Now, the signs are always there in the beginning, but of course, we always seem to overlook those because, again, we either lust over this person or, thinking that we love this person and we just didn't want to see them. So, here's the part we don't like to admit. Again, the signs were there, the late replies, the inconsistent energy, the one sided effort, the gut feelings that something wasn't right. But guess what? Again, we always ignore them because we're trying to paint this picture of this person in our head when our gut is telling us, girl or boy, this situation is not for you. But again, we ignore them signs because we want to see something. We want to see something in this person. And because loneliness will convince you that some attention is better than none, that being with anyone is better than being alone, we'd accept anything. We'll create these images in our mind that, or make excuses for them, I guess I should say, right? But let me tell you something. Being with just anyone is not better than being alone, okay? Because you end up wasting your time and you end up pouring into people who don't have the capability or the intention to pour back into you. And then we become drained mentally, physically, emotionally because we try so hard to, give this person everything we have, knowing that they don't deserve it or knowing that this is not the person that we're supposed to be with anyway. So you end up sacrificing your peace, your time, your standards for someone who would not do the same for you. So at some point, you guys, we have to learn how to sit with ourselves. And this part is hard. This part is hard because, again, nobody likes being alone, especially in this generation that we're in. Everybody just like to play a cat and mouse game, you know. And but sitting alone is most definitely necessary. You've got to learn to sit with your own silence before you invite someone else in. Because if you can't be alone without feeling empty, you're always relying on someone else to fill it for you. And that's not what we want. We want to be happy and rely on ourselves before we invite someone else into our lives, knowing that we're not mentally ready, or because we're just doing something because we're lonely. And also that's not fair to the other person, especially if that person is actually looking for something serious, right? So again, we have to ask ourselves, was it love or was I just lonely? Because if you can't be alone without feeling empty, again, you will always rely on someone else to fill it for you. So the self reflection looks like asking yourself, am I dating from a place of wholeness or from a place of lack? Do I like who I am when I'm single? Like, honestly, do you like who you are as a person when you're single? Like, when you learn to enjoy your own company, your standards shift. You stop accepting half effort. You stop begging for clarity. You stop trying to make it work when deep down you know it doesn't. And also just, you know, owning your role in that part as well plays a major difference. Because again, as I just stated, a lot of us know that we're not looking for something serious and we're just scared of being alone. So then we drag other people along knowing that we don't want something serious. So that's where you owning your own part and that pattern comes in. And might be just this part might sting just a little, but stay with me. Sometimes it's not about the people who we attract, it's about the patterns that we participate in. And until we take accountability for our role in the cycle, we're bound to keep repeating it. We are bound to keep repeating the same exact thing or meeting people that's the same, just in different bodies. I know I'm not the only person that have felt like I'm dating the same person just in a different body. And that's that cycle. That's that cycle that needs to be broken. So ask yourself, why do I keep choosing people who aren't emotionally available? What part of me believes I have to earn love instead of just receiving it? Am I addicted to the potential of people instead of accepting who they really are? Because again, most of us are only seeing the potential that this person could be, but we're not accepting them for who they are. Or that person is only seeing the potential of what we can be, but not accepting us for who we are. It's easy to blame them, but real growth, it happens when we turn that mirror around and ask, what in me allowed this to keep happening? So let's redefine what love actually looks like. Sometimes we think we're in love, but really we're in a trauma bond. We're in something intense, something consuming, but not something healthy. Real love isn't chaos. It isn't confusing. It doesn't leave you guessing. During self reflection, we have to rewrite the story of what love is supposed to feel like. Love should feel safe, seen, steady, not like a test you're consistently trying to pass. So ask yourself, have I mistaken intensity for intimacy? Did I confuse anxiety with chemistry? Do I even know what secure love feels like? Or have I only known survival mode? And I have only known survival mode. I have never been in a relationship where I know where secure love feels like. And that's sad to say. I'm like, what's at my age? I almost just gave out my age, but I'm up in age. And honestly, this is where I have to look in the mirror and ask myself, why do I keep allowing this? What is it that makes me feel like I have to earn love instead of receive it when it should come naturally? So healing the parts of me that chose wrong. And this is a deep one. You can't shame the version of you that didn't know better. You can start showing up for yourself, not ways you didn't back then. And that means healing the inner parts of you that settled, that chased, that overgave. And that means choosing you, even if it's lonely at first. Because trust me, it will get lonely. But that's okay. This is where you take that time to learn yourself. Go to the gym, read, go for walks, go have dates by yourself, buy yourself flowers, take yourself out. And guys, it's okay for you to buy yourself flowers too. Okay? Because healing isn't always about becoming someone new. It's about coming home to who you were before the world told you you wasn't enough. Self reflection means saying, I forgive myself for not knowing. I release the need to keep proving my worth, and I choose to love me first. So, we're going to end this with again just a self reflection. Is just by saying self reflection is the bridge between your past and your healing. It's how you stop the cycle. It's how you go from asking, was it love, to confidently saying, now I know what love is and I know I deserve it. So if you're in that space right now, questioning, unraveling, healing, just know this. You're not behind. You're becoming, and that's something to be proud of. And if there's one thing I've learned, is this: loneliness is a feeling. Loneliness is something that I don't know why we just feel like it's just so hard to deal with. Which, again, it can be hard, but love is a choice as well. Love requires clarity, intentions, and alignment. Loneliness just wants relief. So you just want to feel like you're not lonely. So you just want somebody there to fill that gap. When you move from loneliness, you accept almost anything. But when you move from self love, you only accept what's aligned with you. You only accept what's aligned with you. So before you ask, do they love me? First ask, am I loving myself enough to not settle? So was it love or was I just lonely? That question doesn't always have a clear answer in the moment, but when you take time to reflect and look back without the rose colored glasses, the truth is starts to reveal itself. And that truth, it can set you free. It teaches you, it builds you. Now before the next relationship, before the next situationship, pause and reflect. What do I really want? What do I really need? Am I really ready to receive it? Because love is beautiful and don't let nobody tell you different. But not if you're using it to hide from your own reflection. So thank you guys for tuning in to today's episode. We're going to end it here. Comment, share. Please give me, thoughts. Text me if you have my number. What you think. Comments. On Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Again, thank you guys for tuning in to today's episode, although it's a late drop. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. And remember, love starts within, always. Until next time, take care of yourself. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Talk Me Through a Podcast. If you tuned in,